These are the landing bay attachment arms for the Pegasus kit. Very nicely rendered, nice parts, nice detailing. This is the modified upper shell to the starboard landing bay. What I did to achieve this is simply use the jeweler saw, cut these arms off, and I saved these locator boxes and attached them to the new arm pieces. You can see here. Once I removed the kit arms, I sanded everything smooth, removed the raised detailing plates that are here. Just straightened this wall out, because once you open up this shell by removing those arms, you almost get a straight line here. So you'll be given a dimension for this distance here, and there's a little scribe line here, and you achieve that scribe line by taking an X-Acto knife and just follow along the pad of the existing kit arm and just scribe down in there a few times. And then once you remove and sand away, you'll still have your scribe line there. So use that scribe line and establish a nice parallel straight edge along that scribe line. And then remove 100 thousandths per side on each of these slots. And that allows these arms to go right in place. They're a nice snug fit. And George from Catalyst Creations matched the contours here nicely. And I also had to match the contours here, just some simple steps to allow for the different layers of the parts here. This was a solid block across, so I just did some grinding, some measuring, and all of the arms fit really nicely, nice and snug. And to drop them in, they just snap right in place. Excuse me, right in place. And they give you the proper distance now from the hull. These are longer arms than the kit arms. They're also wider because the kit arms are smooth on the sides here to allow for coming out of the steel mold, as these are going to be coming out of rubber molds, so you can have this nice detail on the sides. These little pistons and support arms are nicely rendered here, and they fit right in place. And these same arms will fit on the other pod, and these will be a nice addition to the kit. Nice, massive, highly detailed parts. Well, here's an update pre-Wonderfest on the Scrambler. I was planning on taking this master in progress to the show, but I have it at a state right now where it is tacked together, and I don't want to take a risk of transporting it and ruining some of the work I've done. That's a little better. Hopefully it stays in focus for you, but you can see where we are. We've got this wall established here. This is going to make up the entire back section of the Scrambler. And I've split the body as it stands so far. In the previous video you saw that this section was open. These parts weren't created yet. So from this line here up and all the way over and back around, all the way here and all the way back here will be one body piece. That's going to be a nice massive mold. And then the second body piece will be this part here. And I don't know if you can pick it up on the video, but I do have scribe line here for where the turret's going to go. So this whole area most of this area will be open, but I still have to establish the wall that wraps around here. Then there's this, if you note in the movie, and if you have it, or big fans of it, you'll know there's all kinds of equipment that goes in this little section here. There's a wall that loops around here, and continues around to the side. And you can see the fender continues here back, and then there's a very large piece on the side of the truck. It's almost like a huge rain gutter, and it's where they keep the camouflage netting for part of the movie where they throw it over the truck. And I think I can see in the movie there's a little glimpse of a flat square resting in there, and I think that might actually be the battery for the truck, because there's no room under here for a battery. There's barely enough room for the motor. And then there's a screen here that covers up the radiator. So there's a whole nother extension on this fender. This gets all filled, and I also have it tacked temporarily to the top of the hood here, just to keep it in position while I work on the rest of the vehicle. So that's why I don't want to transport it. I have it positioned right now, and to transport it and risk damaging the work I've done would just be foolish. So this is as close as Wonderfest as it's going to get, unfortunately. But I've made some decent progress on it, and you can see how complicated this model is. All the different shapes. And it's just one wild design. And I wanted to have it for show and tell, but I don't want to risk damaging. Hopefully in the next couple weeks this will finally get wrapped up. Thanks for looking again, and some of you I will see this weekend at Wonderfest. Well, I've got the generator payload, as I call it, all finished up. Another great design from this movie, Moon. Stay in focus for me. Got everything. Let's not do that. Got everything aligned properly on the chassis. Nice detailing. And with the crane accessory kit, this will have a few hoses that protrude. Two come out here, and then two on the opposite side in about the same location. And this pattern will be at Wonderfest. There's no way there's time to get it molded and cast at this stage. But I will be taking orders, as well as for the rest of the truck. This is the new 1/72nd scale Jeffries shuttle design for the original series Star Trek, the television series. I just have it lightly tacked together on the port side here to show you the pylon, and this really beautiful sort of gull wing design that supports the warp engines. Made the top shell clear, as you can see. The reason being is you will have the option of a full interior, which you can see over here. I had George from Catalyst Creations. He did the files for this chair here, and this is modeled right after the original chairs. I think they turned out really nice. I also duplicated the interior dashboard as best I could. And what I did is I adapted the original Galileo interior to this interior. And the side door acts as stairs when it's deployed. If you want it in flight mode, you can simply put that door up in position in the side of the lower hull. The upper hull door does the same thing. That clamshell's up, and you can glue it in position or glue it closed if you want to close the doors. Some of the details are hard to see because it's clear, but I've got the venting and some of the things in that small little sketch that we have to go by. I do have intercoolers that will go on the tail of the warp engines, as well as the end pieces here. And we've got the windows here, and the reason for the entire shell being clear is if you want to do the interior, you can mask off these front windows here and see inside. It's optically clear in there. It's pretty close to optically clear behind those windshields. And these are some details I represented in the hull and tried to duplicate the impulse engine that's on the filming model and adapt it to fit this design. You can see some of the detailing I put in here up underneath. It's hard to see because it's clear, and I just ad-libbed what I thought represented how they would decorate for the television show. It would be nothing fancy, just shapes. And on the top here you can see the scribing and the recessed vents here that are in that sketch. And another nice little design is this front teardrop marker light or formation light, whatever you want to call it. And there's a nice close-up. You can see how windows are pretty clear. Should be able to see the interior in there. I guess you can kind of see it in the background, but and here is the reason for the clear shell. Because this hull is a longer design than the actual filming set, you can get a whole nother set of chairs in here. So let's see if I can rotate this without knocking them over. They're not glued in place. But you get the idea. You've got the rear bulkhead, which I duplicated from the filming set. I think it looks pretty neat. Question is, will anybody else? Well, I have a couple of these at the show for sale. Decals are not made yet. And they will be something that I simply mail out to you.